Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Ben. I'm doing a new session today on 10 cent, 25-cent heads up tables. So there's going to be a bit more action here. It's obviously going to take a bit more to pay attention. I played this guy a bunch, not on this computer, so I don't actually have the stats available. But I think it would be interesting just to see like what the heads up games are like at this point in time. I should see bet here on the right. So here on the left, we've gotten bet into three twice on flop and turn. Flush draw missed. Backdoor flush draw got there. 7-8 missed. Oh, 7-8 got there. We block 7-8. We don't block the backdoor flush draw. I'm going to call this aces. Strong hand. So yeah, a lot of action at these tables. At some point I'll try to get the HUD up. Obviously, heads up's a little bit different than straight up 6 max. You have to play a lot more hands, a lot more battling. I'm going to continue on the right here. We have the gutter. This card's better for our range than it should be for him. He probably has our stats. It's a pretty weak run out. The spades missed. The straight draw missed. The ace paired the board. I think at this point I'm just going to check and give it up. We could bet on spades, on straightening cards, on non-aces, things like that. I currently feel this video is going to be a little bit harder to commentate properly on. Checking back on this board just because we don't have like any equity if he has a pair. It's just such a bad board to continue bluffing on. I guess a jack, we would have had jack. Probably should have bet the turn here. Not that he would have folded, but and it was 1-2 straight. Maybe we could represent straight. So ace 10 is going to be a 3-bet if he opens. We're going to bet here on the right with the backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw, and 10 high. Gonna 3-bet. I usually like 3-betting between 3 and 4x. Heads up, out of position. Flop pretty well. I'm definitely going to see bet here. $2, given that we have the backdoor flush draw with some equity and we have most of the aces. So this opponent's pretty good, I remember. He's been around for a while, so let's see if I can maximize if the HUD comes back. Nice. Okay, it's locked. Super annoying. Okay, open. Continuation bet. Gonna call with queen 10 off here. You have to defend just 3 bets so wide in these games because they happen very often. It's definitely one of the hands that you're going to need to defend. Throwing away most of, like basically any Broadway hand you need to defend to play profitably and against 3-bet spots. Gonna bet here. We have the backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw, and we want him to fold kind of the ace-high hands that he's likely to have. See if I can do the same thing with this. Get the HUD to start. Apparently not. Okay, we'll have one HUD, which should be enough on him. Gonna check here. Picked up a pair. No reason, I think, to bluff at this point, and I don't expect him to fold a king or better. Pretty good flop on the left here, flop a set. It's gonna be interesting if he bets. I'm just gonna check, try to get to showdown against ace jack or ace queen. Interesting check by him. I think it's solid. It makes it hard to play against. Like, he's gonna have some king x's there, which is just like a tough person to play against, since you can't just barrel them off their hands when diamonds hit. I think I'm gonna check this spot. The diamonds get there, so we can have better hands, and straight draw gets there. It's one of the worst hands that we check raise that we can have at this point. Gonna check call, looking for boat turn reverse. It's a good card. Well, we could debate leading here. That's unfortunate. I generally like just checking to protect my range there. It's becoming a mess. And if we lead, it looks so strong. It's an interesting spot. We get bet into on the turn and then check 2 on the river. I feel like my 8 is probably good. He didn't 3-bet, so it's unlikely he's got strong aces or like 9s or 10s, so I'm going to bet here. I fold 10-7 off. Like, yeah, it's just going to be harder to keep track of hands and things like that. Just a lot going on, and I'll try to do my best. So flop pretty well on here on the left. Trips with medium kicker. We're going to go for a check raise. On the right here, we're just going to call. Backdoor straight draw and underpair. It's a pretty good card. Bricks the flush draw. Gonna call twice here. Nothing really changed. My 6s are still good if they were good before. We can fold ace highs. We don't need to fold 6s. Gonna see bet 5-4 here with the backdoor straight draw. The 4 is an interesting card. It brings the flush, no additional straights. We don't block the flush, otherwise we might want to check raise. If it was like the 5 of clubs and we block the straight. I think we can fold and call with better pairs and hands that have clubs in them. The 9's a bad card to bluff on the left here. I'm going to check and give this one up. It's interesting. I'm going to bet here. I think the 10 is a good card to bluff on, and we have one of the worst hands we can have. Deuce 9 suited to 3-bet. I'm going to fold, but I'm not happy. Looks like the HUD stopped updating. So looks like we got that through on the left. Okay. He limped on making $1. 3-bet, jack 10 off. Open, 4-5 suited. Try to get the HUD restarted here. Gonna c-bet this open ender. We get 3-bet. I'm gonna 4-bet ace queen. And I'm gonna call here on the left with our straight draw. It's an interesting spot. We have a straight draw and a pair. If he has a 7, we're okay, I guess. But if he has a flush or a boat, we're really in trouble. I think I'm going to call, hoping for a straight or 4 or a 5. It's an interesting spot here on the left. I'm going to check this back. It's a pretty bad flop for us. No flush draw. Overcards, but not much else. I'm going to check here. Pretty small bet. Our ASI could definitely be good. We also have overcards to the board and can improve on ace or queen. The 4 is a pretty safe card. And I'm going to check here and hope that the ASI is good. He is a sneaky, sneaky man. The checks with the boats is quite the play. So a HUD should be going. I don't know why it's not. Try the maximize strategy again. Okay, the 10, okay card. We're just going to continue betting with our 2 pair. Obviously 8-7 is there, 9-10 is there, 10 can beat us sometimes, but not too many times. It's an interesting run out. I mean, King Jack gets there, Jack 8 gets there. 2 pairs, decent number of 2 pairs that are better than us. I'm just gonna bet half pot, try to get a crying call from a 9 or pocket 8s. Queen 6 also gets there. And we'll restart the HUD. So far, not great. Yeah, so this guy I think is pretty strong. I remember playing him like 4 or 5 months ago and thinking he was pretty good. So we'll need to play accurately. Check here on the left. Gonna be calling the left, folding the right. Gonna be checking again here on the left. Pretty hard to bet for value. And we could just have the best hand with the 6. No reason to bluff. Gonna call one. Pretty safe run out, unless he had 8-7 exactly. Oh, sorry, no. Pretty safe run out, we know a boat. I expect to win this more often than not. Our 6s could definitely be good. He could just be checking down ace high. On the left, an overcard to our pair. It's a pretty safe card. We can still get value from weaker tens or flush draws or straight draws. I guess you do block the flush draw and straight draw, so maybe it's a good reason to check. I should probably 3-bet Jack 10. Let's see if I do it this way. Nice. So I guess we can check raise. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw, 2 overcards. So we'll be noticing I'm opening like almost all hands here. Gonna see bet the straight draw. You're gonna need to play a lot of hands and heads up. Battling for pots and opening the button is like one of the most important things you need to do. Definitely a terrible flop for us. I'm just gonna check it back. Gonna fold. Gonna see better backdoor straight draw king high hand here. I'd probably check it back if there were 2 diamonds, so I wouldn't get check raised. To avoid getting check raised. 10-4 off, I'm just gonna fold. Gonna call sevens, look to flop a set again. 10-4 suited. It's not a great hand. I want a 3-bet, but I'm probably just gonna end up calling. Not a great turn for us. Not a great river. You know, we can bluff here. We can have a decent number of queens and we block the flush. And the straight with 8-7. Oh, I should call, sorry. That was a bad click. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. Maybe we can have an argument for betting turn with our precise hand. So what are we down? We're down like a decent amount at this point. 31, okay. Pretty good flop. We're gonna go for a check raise. Obviously you can have queen jack, ace jack, jack 9, 8-7. So a lot of gutters or open enders. See better 10 high here. Wish we had a backdoor flush draw, but can't always win. We're getting a lot of check raises in. We're just running good post flop. Gonna call king 8 off. C bet, nut low with the flush draw. Backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. Gonna bet here on the turn with our king high, our top pair. Pretty standard spot, nothing really too interesting. So his VPIP's low. I don't know. I mean, 72 hands, not huge, but it's probably a leak if he's not playing more hands than that. I mean, there are definitely spots where you just have to fold, but you're gonna want to play more hands than just 2/3 of the time. I think something closer to 80-90% is expected. We get check raised here. We can have 5-6, ace deuce, 4 deuce. I mean, sorry, 5 deuce. Gonna call. Gonna see bet here on the right. Queen doesn't really change much. If we were ahead, we're still ahead. Obviously, block 5-6 is a bummer. You can have ace 4, or you can have a decent number of fours. I'm gonna bet here twice on the turn. The nine's interesting. I mean, it brings a flush, but how likely is that? I'm gonna give up here on the right. Then we should fold. We block his most likely straight hand 5-6, and we can have better hands that either are just stronger or block the flush. And you can easily have a 4. It's a pretty good flop. I mean, not terrible flop. Favors us for sure. We'll be continuing here. Gutter, gonna keep betting. Hopefully you can fold 8s and 7s and 6s. If we have aces or kings or queens, we'd still bet. And it's one of the better cards for us to pick up in terms of equity. I mean, aside from a king, a queen, or a 10. 9 is one of the best cards. So 6-7 gets there. Ace deuce gets there. I wish we had diamonds. We could bluff diamonds here, but diamond didn't get there. We block some of his strongest jacks and 9s. I think I'm going to rip it. Cool. So we defended 8-7 to 3-bet. He leads. I'm going to fold. It's just like a nasty spot. Obviously, if we catch a 9, we're never sure we're good. Clubs and 7s and 8s are tricky. Look for a better spot. I know, I just don't think that's good. I should open Jack 3, sorry. So yeah, I'm going to make some mistakes to try to keep track of all the hands that are going on here. I'm going to 3-bet on both spots if we get opened. Going to c-bet with our garbage. Get called. Don't pick up any additional equity. We're like not low though. Yeah, we just don't have any equity. And no like bluff equity. I'm just gonna check and give up. Ace 5. Gonna fold here on the left. Better hands and just like no equity. And 3 off, not gonna defend. Pocket 4 is definitely an open. King 7 suited, I'm gonna 3-bet. Check back 4s here. Bad river. Sorry, bad turn. Just gonna fold this at this point. So little equity. Gonna see bet pocket 4s with our backdoor flush draw, king high. If it wasn't king of clubs, I would I'd probably check. It's a great spot now that we've c-bet to keep betting. We don't often have a 4 because we check back a lot of our bottom of our range. We can have so many bluffs here. It's gonna bet again. 6-8 got there. 6-3 got there. Still a lot of missed clubs. Fold queen 6 off. Defend the min raise almost 100% of the time. And notice that this guy's varying between 0.5 and 0.7 as his open, which I'm not sure what that really means. I have no idea, to be honest. I'm going to bet this really trashy hand. See bet on the right. It's a great hand to bluff. We can have 5 for sure. Gonna 2x pot. He just has it though. On the right here, it's kind of a mediocre spot to bluff. Queen eye could be good. Just gonna fold. Gonna call. Top pair. Medium kicker. I think even more than in the heads up or in the 6-max games, it pays to be really working towards being GTO in the heads up games because people are studying you, and if you're making really obvious mistakes, they're going to try to capitalize on them. So you can have a flush draw that he picked up. We're not going to fold yet, but looking for non-heart turns and rivers. It's a pretty good river. We can have bricked hearts. We can have pocket. We can have a pair, low pocket pairs. We can have a 2. I think our 10's good. Likely good. Okay. It's a good spot to continue betting here. We flopped a ton of equity. Turned even more. I think we should try to put queens in a tough spot. We get value from flushes and jacks. We can maybe get to fold better jacks. Check back the king high. Okay, we're going to be bluffing here. We have blocked the flushes, so he likely has a pair. And it's a good card to bluff if he has just a single queen. So yeah, we bet there because we blocked the flushes, so he's likely to have a pair, which means his pair is likely better than ours. And the question then becomes, should we bluff or should we check? I think like if a pair is like so clearly better than ours, we should bluff. And if we're gonna bluff, and that card like obviously like favors us, given our pre-flop action and flop and turn action, we just have more kings and should, I think, put the pressure on. Turn is set here. Gonna check. I'm just gonna bet. I don't expect him to have too many aces or hands I can hold on. But our hand's just too good, so we're just gonna have to bet. We get raised. That's interesting. I'm gonna 3-bet here. We're deep, and I want to rep. I can rep flush draws and straight draws. We have one of the best hands we can have. Well, Queen Jack gets there, but all the other draws miss. So if he has Ace King or Ace 10 or 9-10, I think he's gonna be forced to call it off if I rip it. Interesting, he folds. So maybe he had a draw himself. We could have actually just checked and let him bet. That might have been the key move there. I'm gonna call here with the 9 blocker. 8 improves us, and we block 8-9. He can also have like single 8s or single 4s for straight draws. We can have better hands: aces, kings, queens, jacks, pocket 10s. We block his strongest hands. That's a bummer. Yeah, maybe we can fold there. We can have a lot better hands. I just figured it was one of the best blocking hands we could have. It's funny because like we can't have that many better hands when the king comes. I mean, the queens and jacks are obviously gonna check our, even though we 3-bet. Our queens and jacks are now equivalent to like the we'll check twice here. Our queens and jacks are now equivalent to our 10s once the king comes, and I feel like as a result we should probably just pick the ones that block the straight, which is actually the 10 with the pair or the 10 with the 9. Gonna check here. Yeah, I mean we can have aces and ace king and pocket kings. We can't have ace king too often because he did raise. So honestly, I think we played that perfectly fine. I'm okay with the way that played. Should see bet queen jack. Sorry, I was thinking in my own head. I just have to fold. Well, queen 9 could be good. Doesn't look like it. So we're up down 2 buy-ins on this table. 7-5 off, gonna fold. 8-9 off, I'm gonna call. It's a bad card to bluff. Interesting card. I'm going to keep betting here, just for value. It's a good card to bluff. We block Jack 9, and we block the flush. Top pair going to c-bet. Suited hand I'm going to open. Yeah, I definitely think when we had that set of fives, we should have checked. The double miss flush draw. Let him bluff with one of those combos. Yeah, I figured we could just call here. No reason to raise. I think we only get action from worse hands. Gonna keep bluffing here with our pair and flush draw. We block the flush draw. No straights get there. I think I'm just gonna check, honestly. I know it's nasty, but like I just don't think many things fold here. Gonna 4-bet ace king. Call it off. No queen. Jack. 3 queens. Gonna fold deuce 9. Gonna check queen 5 off. Open 7 jack 4. Pre-standard by him. So we ran a little bad there, but it's not that big of a deal. He is mixing up the sizing. It's interesting. Gonna see. I'm gonna check our bottom pair with our weak flush draw. Gonna bet our pretty bad hand. Gonna check again. Open nut low suited. Gonna raise. I'm just gonna fold. Gonna check back here on the right. Turn second pair. Yeah, I can bet now. Gonna check here on the left, bottom pair. Gonna bet our trips. Jack 4 suited, call. Jack 4 off, gonna open. Bet the pair and flush draw. There isn't a bet here on the left. There's just no real turns that improve us. So you can see we're playing a very different 3-bet frequency here. I guess I'm kind of surprised mine's so high. Don't feel like I've been 3-betting that much. Not a great river for us, a turn for us. Flush, I mean, it's like pretty bad. We're not going to be able to really play any more streets. Gonna call here on the left. A lot of bluffs. We don't block any of them. We do with the 7. King 5 off, I'm gonna fold. I'm gonna call this down. So many bluffs. We don't block the clubs. King high is fine. So far we have not be right in our call downs. I see bet kings. Pretty safe turn. Call the min raise. Gonna continue betting. And unless he has, I mean 8-9, we're still ahead of. Do you guys have like 10-6 or 10-jack? I think it's a good bet just to bet all the chips. And we get the double up. So that's the way it goes. Sometimes you just have to call down with top pair, no kicker. I don't know if it's a great call down by him, but it's reasonable. It's weird that he's limping. I haven't seen him do this yet. But I guess he's just mixing it up. We have been 3-betting a bunch, so maybe his response is to limp. Flop, backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. Couple overcards, the second pair. Pretty bad card to keep bluffing on. I'm probably going to check give up. Just going to fold. I mean, he could definitely just have a club draw, a spade draw that missed. But it's not as if I'm going to get him to fold that on the turn. And our hand went from being kind of pretty to being pretty lackluster by the end there. Okay, I usually see bet these hands. I'm afraid that we're just gonna get check raised a lot. We do block the nuts and we do draw to the nuts pretty well. So maybe I will. No, I'm just gonna check. I don't want to get check raised. I like this hand too much. Alright, looks like he's leaving. So that will be it. So we're gonna call like any bet here with our 7 and ace deuce blocker. Might even put a value bet in. It's kind of likely he has a 6. Queen 9, got there. Alright, looks like this will be the last hand. And if there are pair and flush out, we'll definitely call one. It's a pretty good card. Pairs the board, doesn't bring an extra scary card. That's probably going to do it. Probably sit out in the big blind. So that was an interesting session. Obviously, I don't think it went as well as our previous other sessions. Probably down, I don't know, maybe a buy-in and a half or something, 2 buy-ins. But yeah, hopefully that was interesting, some heads-up strategy. Yeah, this is Ben signing off, and thank you very much.